The sun has arrived.
I was about to sing oh, I was gonna sing I'm Real, but remix it like I'm black.
What you see, what you get is what you see.
I'm black.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
At this point, I'm gonna remix like as many songs as I can think about and just convert them to all be about being black. And we're gonna see how many we can get through before we
That's
decide.
hilarious. Oh my gosh,
What?
yes. I did a remix of the what is that song? This is gonna bug me. The Bruno Mars song. This thing about that. How does it go? Um,
There's so many. Which
it's
one?
gonna bug me. Hold on.
Hi everyone
It's
while
too
she's
hot.
thinking.
You know the one that's like, it's too hot, hot damn. That song.
Oh yeah. Because Natural 85 also remixed that song.
That is amazing.
What
But
is the
yeah,
name of that song now that I'm thinking about it?
nobody knows the name of it.
Shoot.
Yeah, it's like this one's for that. I don't know the lyrics. This one's
This
for that.
one, that
You know how it
girl.
starts.
Yep.
It's
Uptown
like
Funk. Listen,
Uptown Funk.
Tati always be on it. Uptown
Thank you.
Funk.
I remixed it for an upcoming video for this month, so we'll see how that
Oh,
goes. I can't even fucking remember it right now.
I'm excited about that. Like, do we know when that's coming out? Because listen, I'm all for the remixing of songs. Yeah. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for coming into Black Pros and hanging out with us on this fine Valentine's night.
I know. Thank you for joining us because we are spending our Valentine's Day evening together, and that is very nice.
Yes. Also, if you're drinking any of the bubblies or if you've made a snack in particular to enjoy this night with us, let us know what you made. I have cookies and I have mango lemonade that's laced with other delicacies.
Sounds that sounds so nice.
Listen, it mixes very well with whiskey.
Other delicacies.
It's whiskey. Let me not point that. It's whiskey. So it's like I'm doing drugs. Wait a minute. It's whiskey.
Everybody's like, my thing is that I got so caught up editing a video that's gonna go up in about 50 minutes on my channel that I forgot to make my cookies. I'm so upset.
Oh no.
So upset.
I did not do anything but wash my hair. It's still in deep conditioning cap and bake cookies. That's all I did today. Also, what the heck? Novelist, you do the cauliflower thing. We're going to talk about this one day.
But good.
Yeah, y'all can have that.
That sounds good.
No.
Ooh, look at all the delicious food in the comments.
Salmon in the oven, the wine is chilling. Popcorn with chili lime seasoning and middle sister sweet and sassy Moscato.
Oh
Mace with the cracking rum later. Oh, okay.
Wow. That
Novelist,
is amazing.
You have it has been requested that you drop a recipe or something somewhere or a link or something.
Yup.
Chocolate covered pretzels from 7-Eleven. Bet.
That is amazing. I love chocolate covered pretzels.
Seltzer water says I'm trying to avoid soda. That's good.
Y'all have got me because I'm literally taking my computer into the kitchen so I can make my cookies.
Yeah, so I'm eating homemade chocolate chip cookies and drinking whiskey. I have done nothing of the healthy variety today because it's cold and why bother? I love how you guys all have drink options.
I know.
You know, like whatever I'm feeling later on, the drink might switch.
I can't. I don't know what it is, but like sometimes when I drink on like occasions like this, I either get like really, really sad.
Because alcohol is technically a depressant.
Well, I guess that makes sense. So I'm just like not taking my chances tonight. I was like, I do not want to get all weepy and depressed. So I am drinking something nice and warm. I'm drinking some tea. Make it all cozy and boring, I know.
It's not boring. That also sounds delicious. So here's what happened, guys. We originally planned for everybody who popped on to here to drop a link where you would have been given the entrance to a special Zoom where we were going to watch movies and just basically talk junk about them the whole time.
Yeah, we had a great plan.
We had a whole like special plan. However, it fell through like, a meteor crashing to the earth.
Oh, it fell all the way through, honey.
All the way through. So what we're going to do tonight is do basically reader's choice or viewer's choice. So whatever topics you guys want us to talk about, put it in the chat and we will talk about them because we genuinely plan to have a real surprise for you guys. That's why we were telling everybody to bring snacks and bring drinks and stuff because we full on plan to surprise because y'all are our people that are always coming to our podcast and our chats and stuff. And we recognize all of y'all in the chat regularly. So it was like, this will be so much fun to do. But yeah, that didn't work out. It didn't work.
There was it was going to be too hard to get everyone to participate. We looked into all the streaming options and there really wasn't one that was going to give us the quality in terms of like everybody being able to really see the movie and also have the ability to see each other. It was either like we would have to give something up. Either we were going to have crappy quality of the film or we weren't going to be able to see each other or not everybody was going to be able to participate because the platform, not everybody would have like that streaming platform if we weren't going to use Zoom. It was just too much.
Yeah. Plus, neither of our internets are wanting to commit right now, so.
Not wanting to commit.
Oh, we got our first topic idea from Reads with Rachel. Since it's Valentine's Day, what's the steamiest book you've ever read? This is obviously for Oshale.
I will say this. I've been doing this thing where I have been rereading a lot of like the erotica that I read when I was younger. And right now, I'm rereading books by Suzanne Johnson. Mm-hmm. And I am shook that my 14, 15, 16-year-old self was reading this stuff because it is like, it's a lot. Just like, whoa, what is going on here?
When you say a lot, how a lot? For the people who have not read these books. Also, everyone should also answer these questions in the chat as well. Let me put the question back up here for y'all.
Suzanne Johnson is a very good writer and her characters are very well fleshed out and things like that, but she does not hold back. Like her character, she holds nothing back. So between her and then there's another author who I've been rereading her books. She writes historicals as well, but her books are a little bit more controversial and a little bit more like, ooh. Bertrice, I think her name is Bertrice Small, I want to say. Mm-hmm. They were writing like in the 80s, 90s. So, a lot of the stuff that they were writing back then is like questionable today. We would have to have discussions about some of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how everything from the 80s and 90s is now.
Like some of the books, like the fetishization of other cultures and sometimes racism in the books that's fetishized is like really uncomfy. And I'm just like, what's happening here?
Yeah, now we are we try to make it we're making conscious efforts to be better humans. So we're noticing a lot of issues that we didn't notice before. And so obviously sometimes we'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
That was really
an interesting rereading experience.
Yeah.
Oh sure. My goodness. What?
I read my first sex scene in 3rd grade and I was so confused for a moment. I didn't know it was a sex scene. Then do you remember what you read? Now we have to know what were you reading in the 3rd grade? I was reading Babysitter's Club.
Me too. I was reading like the American Girl books, like Addie.
Me too.
Whoa, Penny.
Listen, that's a whole other world where you're like in 3rd grade and you didn't even realize you were reading a sex scene back then.
That's intense.
Like, that's crazy. I mean, that's funny. It's funny now because we're adults, but like thinking about it, it's like, oh my gosh, what the heck did you have access to?
Right. Like, what older cousin loves
right? What older cousin did you steal this book from? Because we all have an older sibling or an older cousin where we still we did things with them we did not do with everyone else.
Right.
Because they did not watch us like they were supposed to.
They sure enough didn't. They had us watching all kinds of stuff on TV that we weren't supposed to be watching.
I mean, I watched The Candyman with my cousin, and I'll never forgive him for that.
Oh my God, that's messed up.
Oh, okay. So Musical Tati says, that's why I'm scared to reread some of the books I read as a kid. The amount of things that would be an issue now. Yup.
This is facts. It kind of ruins the nostalgia element because you're like, oh, nostalgia's going to be great. And then, like, I was talking to Troy about this. I was shook it to my core when I found the racist stuff in The Secret Garden, which is like,
oh man,
my favorite kids books. And it was just devastating.
The Secret Garden is actually very racist. And when I read it, I actually reread it in college, and I was genuinely hurt. I was like, was I stupid back then?
I honestly think as a child, you don't have the full cognition of what is being discussed. And so you either breeze right through it and past it, or it doesn't click in your brain exactly what's going on. It's like a weird cognitive dissonance because you don't have the knowledge yet or the life experience to truly understand what is happening. So you just kind of breeze through it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Because I was like, dang, I missed this. All of this.
Look, I'm just like, it's on my shelf now for nostalgia purposes because I still have like my childhood copy and I can't bear to give it away, but I'm just like shaking my head.
Right. I'm like, oh no, you racist too?
Oh my God.
But yeah, like we're saying, this is the free night where we're just talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. So post away. Ooh.
If you hear noises, I'm making my cookies.
Yes, Oshley is cooking. I am currently working on something that's going to be released in my shop in April. So I'm drawing because I'm getting close to my deadline. Y'all want to hear? Oh, hold on. The steamiest book I read up to date is The Devil's Playground Duet by Ashley Jade.
Ooh.
The title of that book sounds like
Ashley Jade goes there.
Okay. I mean, the title itself sounds like somebody's sex dungeon. So that's, yeah. That, I mean, I don't read these books. I'm taking y'all word for it. My mom wouldn't let me or my sisters watch Love and Basketball for the longest time or The Color Purple.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So 1, I was forced to watch The Color Purple, and I was forever mad at my parents for making me watch that. 2, Love and Basketball is not a good movie anyway, so I'm glad they kept you from watching it. It gives this ridiculous idea of what you have to go through to find love.
That relationship was toxic. Every time, I remember the very first time I ever watched it, and it was probably, when I was a lot younger, obviously, when it was closer to its release date, and everybody was raving about how romantic it was. And I just remember feeling this anger in my soul, and I didn't have the vocabulary to like express myself at that time. I didn't fully understand what it was I was feeling or why I was so upset. But I just remember feeling it in the depths of my soul, and I've hated that movie ever since. And I was always the black sheep in my friend group for hating that movie because everybody else was like, oh, I love it. And I was just like, I hate it. And I don't know why I hate it.
When I moved back to the States, I did not talk about it because I was like, y'all do realize he's crap, right?
He is trash.
Oh, now that I'm broke, busted, and disgusted, I guess I love you. What?
Right?
No.
Unbelievable.
I read my first romance book in 6th grade. This girl would bring her mom's Highlander and Scottish books. We'd pass them around like Pokemon cards.
Look, did we live?
Wait, do Scottish books get down like that?
No, this is giving me so much deja vu because my mom was really into romance novels when I was a kid. And she would have these like Scottish Highlander ones, and she would hide them in the closet. And so the summer after 5th grade, I started going to the closet and climbing on the step stool and getting them and reading them.
No.
I know she would be devastated. And I actually think she like found out, and I got in trouble, and she yelled at me, and she was like, "You're not allowed to read these," and da 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 da. And but the thing is that my mom worked during the summer, and so there was nobody at home to watch me, and I was the babysitter of my little brothers. So I found her new hiding spot and just continued reading.
So you were taking all your mom's adult novels, reading them while babysitting your brothers, and then putting them back up like you never touched them.
I would just put on Blue's Clues for my little brother, and like my other little brother, I would just like put on something else for him, and then I would just read.
Oh my gosh.
Negligence. I know.
Oh my gosh. Can we have a moment to discuss this comment?
Oh!
Can we have a moment?
Look, when I recently rewatched The Brothers, that's all I'm gonna say.
You know what? Me and my college girlfriends have been having movie nights like once a month just to kind of keep track of each other. And then because one of my friends just had a baby, like this is us kind of being like, we didn't forget you. So we started watching the 80s and 90s Black classics.
Ooh.
Let me tell you how triggered we were for the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Because if you remember that movie, like we went back and found the trailer for that movie. That movie makes it seem like Martin Lawrence's character is just this guy minding his own business and gets with the girl, but then the girl ends up being crazy and like haunting him and stuff, right?
Right.
That's the kind of premise of it. However, you go back and watch that movie, you're like, obviously she hit her breaking point with him. Yes. A slime ball.
Like, he treated her like complete trash and then wondered why she snapped.
Right. I was like, I'm really at this point where I'm like, terrorize him. Yes. He terrorized you first.
Ruin his whole life. I'm on your side, okay?
Oh, and then another movie that was like, whoa, because obviously we watched one of those and then we watched like something stupid. So what is the name of the movie where it's B2K and Marcus Houston and they're on the dance team?
Wait, what?
You remember that movie? Remember when it was a whole bunch of dance movies that came out like around the time the Drumline came out, and B2K and Marcus Houston were in a dance movie.
I must have blocked this out because
no, it's so fantastic.
Really? You're gonna have to
it's not Stomp the Yard and it's not Save the Last Dance. Like they were all a part of a dance crew, and then these two, You Got Served. Yes,
You Got Served. Oh my god, yes. I remember this.
I highly recommend going back and watching that movie with your friends.
I'm scared.
It is so bad and funny.
Really?
I mean, we laughed so hard. This to the point where we're like, if this is supposed to see the same scene, like, why is it now dark? Like, what is happening?
No.
It's so bad, but it's like wonderful glory trash. But he also, like, again, it was another representation of like really bad relationships going on. Just like,
it's exhausting, isn't it?
True Confession magazine. Nobody probably knows what they are. True Confessions magazine sounds like a mystery type situation, but then at the same time, we are talking about like real raunchy stuff. So I'm assuming that might not be what it is. It's like, I highly recommend going back and watching the movies that were supposed to be like our classics, but looking at them from a pure comedic point, and they're great. Yeah.
I still want to talk about Your Great Shame.
What great shame?
The Great Shame you just recently shared with me.
Which great shame? There's so many.
The one you shared with me yesterday about the movie that you don't like. We have to talk about this.
Do we really? Okay. So one of the movies that Oshale suggested we watch was Coming to America.
Yes.
And I dislike that movie with the passion of passions.
Look, it's very problematic now that I'm older. I can see like certain things about it that I'm just like, ooh, honey. But I want to talk about why you dislike it. I'm very curious because we didn't go into it. You just told me your shame, and I was like, okay, girl.
Well, for one,
Tati's like, what?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know the concept is like, what?
Because it's just like such a classic, you know?
But like, it's the same way that like everybody basically told me like, you're going to love insert whichever Black movie. That was the same one where I was watching it and everybody's like, this is so great. And I was like, but why?
Okay, tell me what you didn't like. Let's go through it. Let's go through it one by one. Let's really break this down because I just need to understand.
Keep in mind, I didn't watch Coming to America until I moved to the States in 2006, which means I was already 18 years old.
Okay. So you were able to critically like look at it.
Yeah. And it had already been out for a while by then. Cause like a lot of people watched Coming to America closer to when it came out.
Yeah. I watched it as a little kid.
Right. So if you think about it, like a lot of your love for that movie is nostalgia.
It is.
Because it's a crappy movie.
Ooh, you gotta give us some reasons. You can't just say that. And
I mean, I haven't watched that movie since 2006. Like I watched it.
Let me refresh your memory. We have Prince Akeem, I think, whatever his name is.
Because they had to pick some random African name. Let's talk about that.
It's like an African nation that doesn't exist.
Uh-huh.
It's like a fictional. By the way, Coming to America 2 is coming out next month.
Yeah, I've already been told that I have to watch it. So it's I'll watch it. Like at this point, watching these movies has been an actual delight.
Because you're just laughing at them now.
Well, yeah. And then sometimes, like, especially when you watch it with your friends, you get to talk about how crappy it is. Like, hold on, side note. Bethany asked, was the relationship in Drumline healthy? I love that one.
No.
Okay. So hear me out. I don't think that the relationship in Drumline was terrible.
Lord.
I just think it was extremely unrealistic.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of these relationships are.
Because she was like upperclassmen doing her thing. They would have never had an opportunity to meet. And if you've ever been a part of a Black band, he would have never had time to talk to her anyway.
Never. He would have been way too busy.
That's not how they do things at HBCUs. Let's just put it that way. But I don't think their relationship was terrible. It's just, Nick Cannon is also super corny. So it's hard to realize him getting any girls. Like he makes good money, but he corny.
I feel like now that I know his character, I can't watch his films anymore without just feeling distaste.
I actually enjoy rewatching Drumline regularly because of that one scene. The white guy who fights for his position.
Yes.
Okay. And you remember the scene where he's like practicing and like Nick Cannon comes in and like sees him and he's like, what are you doing? Yeah. That scene. I can cackle for days on just that scene.
Oh my God.
I love how everybody is stuck. I was waiting for everybody to write all their comments about Coming to America.
We need answers. You're not getting out of this.
Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on. I have a job call coming in. I'll be right back.
Oh, convenient. Y'all see how she did us? But yes. Okay, so let's look at some of y'all's comments. Tati said, Hakeem doesn't want a trained chick for a wife, wants a wife who has a mind of her own. Alas, he and Simi voyage to Queens. Yes, that's a perfect opener, and we will take it from there when she gets back. Let's see here. Okay, y'all are pretty much giving the plot. Okay. Oh, that was quick.
I'm back. I mean, yeah, I forgot. I have my after hours phone for my job too, so it's a very high possibility because of the temperature that I'm about to get a lot of phone calls tonight. Okay.
Everyone has been nice enough to give us the backstory of Coming to America, since you don't remember 100%. The plot.
Well, I know the plot. The plot was like, oh, I'm looking for a woman. Like he didn't want the woman that his parents set for him, so he goes to America to find her. Cool, whatever. But you realize, like, that movie, he still picked the quiet, meek woman, like the one that, like, oh, she's so dainty and so graceful. Like, it was still all the stereotypes.
It was.
All the stereotypes were still heavily presented in that movie. And I guess because I watched it a little bit older, I was side-eyeing and rolling my eyes where, like, other people were laughing. And I was just like, isn't there another wedding movie coming? No, that movie is called... Dang, it's the movie where it's like Morris Chestnut. It's 4 of them. I can't remember the name of that movie, but honestly, go back and watch these movies with your girlfriends and wine. Also, this is a very good... Everybody's telling me that it's hecka convenient. Listen, I can't help when I get calls, guys.
Look, we were like, okay. You don't want to talk about
the weather. Oh, and yes, that movie was The Best Man. But this was my question too. I was like, why did he have to go to America to find a free-thinking woman?
That was the whole plot. It was centered on America.
Yeah, but like, why? Couldn't he just go to another part of Africa?
He could have.
Are only the free-thinking women in America?
No.
Are the looser women? Like, that's what we were going with?
I think he just wanted somebody different from a different culture.
I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just like,
It's also one of those things that they don't expect the audience to critically question.
Tati, did you mean to write Morris's nuts?
Morris's nuts. I'm done.
I was just wondering if that was a typo or not, because
I'm done for this evening. I'm just like, why is he in a movie? Like, when was the last movie he was in?
No, like, I'm telling you, like, The Best Man. So, there's The Best Man and then The Best Man 2.
The Best Man Holiday.
Best Man Holiday. They're coming out with a series for it now.
Oh, that'd be good. The Best Man Holiday had me boo-hooing so hard when I watched it a couple years ago. Well, not a couple years ago. It was a long time ago, but still.
What's the other movie with Nick Cannon that came out around the same time as Drumline, where he's like a little nerdy and the one with Christina Milian, Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Love Don't Cost a Thing. I'm sorry, I just can't watch it. I cannot watch Nick Cannon movies anymore. Like his actual self, like who he is as a person, has ruined his films for me. Ruined. Which is so sad.
I just, Tati, I meant that. But yeah, The Best Man Holiday, I think the reason why the collective of us cried a lot was because, like, they got us so good.
They emotionally manipulated us?
Yeah, they got us so good. Because you remember the first movie, and then the way that the second movie starts off, you're like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It was just kind of the same way that the old movie was. I was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there with my parents and they're like, are you all right? I was like, no.
They emotionally manipulated the hell out of us.
Tati said she doesn't know who Nick Cannon is as a person, and I strongly agree with that.
What did you say?
Tati said, I don't know who that person is, as like referring to Nick Cannon. And like, that's kind of how I view Nick Cannon. It's like, I watch Drumline because it's just freaking fantastic. But as far as Nick Cannon, no thanks.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he's terrible.
I haven't rewatched Love Jones as like my 30-year-old self. Oh, also,
I rewatched it recently. It was interesting.
Have you watched that recently?
Yes.
How did you like it recently?
I was just like, why is this relationship so difficult? Like, why? Why?
I mean,
it was one of those movies where they try to make their reasons for being, their reasons for them struggling so hard to get together and to communicate and all this stuff. They try to make it so romantic, and artsy. Sorry, that's my timer for my cookies. Hold on.
How convenient.
Oh, stop. But like when you broke everything down, it was just like, maybe y'all just shouldn't be together.
I mean, I'm guessing that's how I'll feel when I rewatch it. Like that's on the list for our next girls' night. But we watched we watched Waiting to Exhale as well.
Oh, Waiting to Exhale had me like commiserating with Angela Bassett to a level I never knew was possible. To the point where when she set his shit on fire, I literally was jumping around my living room.
No, like, when she was walking around the house talking about all the things that he did or didn't do, I was like, yes.
And all the things that she did for him and how much she sacrificed to get his business out there. Look.
That movie hits so differently now that I'm in my 30s and I'm just tired of dating. Like, old girl that got pregnant by that fine man.
Sorry, y'all, my dogs.
It's fine. But like when she, not only that, but when she answered the door after she had set the car on fire.
Yeah.
And he's like, were you aware? Yeah.
Yes. Like the officer's like, were you aware that there's a car on fire and driver? She's like, yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, she was like, okay.
Dad.
I was like,
and they're just like, oh, okay, ma'am. Just
right. It was like she was so dead, like she deadpan faced that man, and he was just like, oh, okay.
Because one of the uppity families in that neighborhood, that gated community, called the cops. And she was looking at him like, I don't have it today for you, sir.
Oh, also, when she walked up in that room, that rat room, and his mistress was in the room and thought she was going to stand up and say,
yep.
Me and my homies were like, hit her and beat his ass. And then it was like, should she get hit? You know what? She should have minded her business.
Should have minded her own damn business.
But he deserves to get mollywopped. Oh, that's right. What?
Oh,
Waiting to Exhale gave. I forgot how fine Wesley Snipes was.
Oh my gosh! And that scene where they're sitting there and they just like pour out their hearts to each other, and you hear about what he's going through.
Oh my god! I was like, he's really fine, and I don't know if I'm. I'm like, was he always this sexy? Like,
Yes. Yes, he always was.
God bless him.
He was perfect in that scene, though. Like the perfect balance of masculinity and sensitivity. I was like, yes. Take me away.
I was like, they don't make vulnerable Black men in movies, and he's just out here just being very attractive, being very aware of his emotions. We don't get that a lot in men that we're dating because they want to act like that's too hard. I could rant about this forever, but I was just like, Oh, and then Whitney Houston's situation.
Whitney Houston's situation really broke my heart because she really she had no value for herself.
It wasn't even that. Her mother was encouraging it.
That part didn't surprise me.
Well, it didn't surprise me, but it's one of those things where I'm just like,
her mom was so toxic. She was just like, he's a good man. And then her mom's reasoning was like, well, I don't want you to be alone. Like, really, that's the worst thing in the world. You'd rather have me be a whole side chick, a mistress, because you don't want me to be alone. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I just... yeah.
Like, make it make sense.
Oh, and then the other scene where old girl had dated that one guy who I guess he was strung out on drugs, and she was talking to him from the balcony.
That was hilarious. Oh my god, that was so funny.
I was just like, one day I want a moment.
So. Layla Rashawn.
Yes.
The beautiful Layla Rashawn, yes.
Oh, she ain't aged neither.
What happened to Layla Rashawn in real life that was very sad?
What happened to Layla Rashawn in real life?
You didn't hear about that scandal about how her husband publicly cheated on her with who is that? Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, the really pretty one, Nicole.
Listen, Eddie Murphy's had wives. I don't remember.
Nicole Murphy. So,
wow.
So Layla Rashawn's husband is like this like pretty big producer director guy. I can't remember his name right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like a pretty big deal in Hollywood. And Antoine Fuqua, he literally was caught by paparazzi in like France or somewhere in a pool with Nicole Murphy, literally like feeling all up on her booty. And then there were pictures of them like in robes, clearly like outside a hotel room having like breakfast. And then it was all over. It was all over. It was real bad. And then she had the nerve to be like, he's a family friend. Nothing.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yes. I'm friends with Layla. He's a family friend. Nothing is going on. And he was like, yeah, nothing was happening. I was just helping her out with a business issue. Like we were just chatting. We just ran into each other randomly in Paris. Like what? Poor Layla Rashawn. It was
I remember that because I was like, nobody deserves that level of embarrassment.
She has been married to this man since 1999. They don't have all these kids together. And he embarrasses her like this. I was like, oh.
Not only embarrasses her, but just assumes like as a collective, we should all just be real idiots.
Nicole Murphy was dragged through she was dragged for filth to the point where, I mean, somebody else came out, another celebrity came out. I can't remember, but I'm going to remember in a minute and was like, oh yeah, Nicole Murphy's a hoe. She fucked my husband too.
Lisa, no.
Yes, Lisa Ray.
Lisa Ray. Lisa. I remember that. Listen, I know everybody was dragging Nicole, but I was like, can we also talk about the cheating husbands? Because Nicole was single.
Nicole was single.
The married men weren't. And let's talk about that.
Yeah, that was a home mess. That was my heart was just broke.
Man, I remember that.
Layla Rashawn obviously gave up her career to marry this man and have his children and be his wife. I'm not saying that's not what she wanted, but we haven't seen her in a film since 1999 when she married him.
Yeah.
And then for him to do this to her, I was like,
man, Lisa Ray deserves her own podcast because that woman,
she hates everybody.
Everyone.
I'm like, do you have any friends?
Like, is there a friend that you had that didn't do you wrong? Just curious. Everybody screwed you over. Dang.
The common denominator here is you.
Oh, snap.
Oh gosh. But
man, the Black movies are the best movies though. Like I will still watch them.
Of course.
Because
with the exception of Tyler Perry movies just make me too mad.
I said Black movies.
Oh, the shade.
Tyler Perry made the plays for us.
He makes like shuck and jive minstrel shows.
He made the plays for us. The movies are not for us.
Yeah, the plays were good. I will give him that.
Like I remember watching his plays.
And Medea is always going to be a classic.
I mean, yeah, them plays was lit, but like after he started making the movies and like it became, I guess, the Hollywood version of his plays, like not to mention for a man that has so much money for movies, he can't seem to understand that it's disrespectful to get them cheap $2 wigs and throw them on everybody's head. Like I can't respect a man who can't respect the actors that he pays to give them good headpieces.
The way that I look at their hair in his films when I'm like, ooh, honey, that wig, the makeup is not blended. I can see where it stops right below your jawline. Why is it not blended into your neck? What was the budget for the hair and makeup for this film?
Right. And he talked with something. He don't have time to worry about that. I'm like, you barely have time to write scripts, my guy. You should at least have time to make sure they look decent.
Right.
I think always got them out here looking crazy.
I think the only movie of his that I actually really liked was Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Well, yeah, because wasn't that his first official movie?
I have no idea. I don't keep track.
That was one of his first plays too, and I love the play.
The movie was just so spot on because I was like, she has every right to be murderous.
Listen, that freaking part where she threw him into the water will be a meme of all memes. Not the wigs be looking like chia pets.
Not chia pets.
Chia.
I can't handle it.
I'm just like, man, yeah, that's so true. My older relatives love it, and they get mad at me when I'm like, these are trash.
They do love it.
To this day, nobody can tell me how that heifer got on the boat in Acrimony. Nobody can tell me. But people want to say they love that movie. I'm like, but how did she get on the boat?
Nobody can tell us. Explain, please. Oh no.
Yeah, plus I think he has a colorism thing that he needs to work out internally because
I mean, a bunch of them do. Him, Lee Daniels. Who's the other one that keeps making the same shows over and over that did Blackish?
What is it? I don't remember his name. You think he has a colorism thing too?
Who?
The director or the producers for Blackish?
I don't even know if it's so much of a colorism thing because he only writes the same story, right? Which is his story. I'm a light-skinned man. My wife is biracial. All our kids are biracial, and he just keeps making it over and over and over again.
And well, that part is fact.
Even if he doesn't have a colorism issue, it's very suspect that you have the power to create so many Black stories, but you keep creating the same Black story. Why?
That's the Black story that's comfortable, and that's the Black story that sells.
Yes,
unless it's something about a dark-skinned woman being the mistress to somebody, then that story will get told.
Kenya Barris, thank you. Yes, it's kind of like you have power. You are apparently, supposedly creative and talented. This is the only story you can write.
Also, my parents made me watch Medea Funeral, and I too laughed. Oh, A Family That Prays.
Yes, I remember that.
I remember that movie.
That's right.
The mixed family fetish.
Ooh.
Okay, he does have some there. Like, I enjoy Blackish.
I like Blackish.
There are a couple episodes on Blackish where I was slow clapping.
Blackish is very entertaining, very fun, very well written. But the problem is Blackish, Mixedish, Grownish. What's the new one he had on Netflix? After a while, you're just like
Black AF,
which was not Black AF. After a while, you're just like, look.
I was like, to cast a woman who is what do we call that? Ambiguously Black, where people have literally assumed you were a white woman this entire time and you never corrected them.
She's played white roles.
Yes, like has pretty much casted herself as a white woman, has never ever clarified. To be the person casted in a show called Black as Fuck was like a huge smack in the face. It was just like
if you didn't know her father was Quincy Jones, you would have no idea of her racial identity.
And I didn't know her father was Quincy Jones until that show. And I was like, she's been Black this whole time. I had no idea. And I just feel like if you can turn your Blackness on and off when it's profitable to you, then you don't get to be on a show called Black as Fuck, because that's not Black as Fuck.
I have to agree.
Because I was just like, I'm so confused. We need more Black women showrunners, and we need more Black women showrunners where they don't automatically take their power away in some kind of way. Because every time we get a lead Black woman, her power gets taken away from her in the weirdest ways. Always, usually in the Jezebel.
Yes, it's always a Jezebel.
Always a Jezebel. She could be the most powerful woman in the world, and she's always the Jezebel.
She is.
And I don't understand why we always get portrayed like that. Or we are nothing but cruel, evil, and bitter.
Yep. It's either one or the other. Or we're the old wise mammy who's there to clean up the mess, give advice, or the overweight best friend who will never get in the spotlight, but is there to prop up the white character who the story is really about and make sure that she gets her happily ever after, and we're cracking great jokes along the way. Maybe we sing a song or two.
Basically. 2 of Victoria Christopher Murray's books have been made into movies and will air in April. Are they airing on Netflix? Because Netflix has been putting out some stuff, so like I'll watch it.
I'll watch it too.
Yeah, please be on Netflix so I can just go ahead and watch. I think he's doing the tried and true formula of Hollywood where you have an idea and you keep capitalizing on it. I agree with this because Hollywood doesn't really promote creativity.
No, they don't.
Hollywood promotes formulas because that's the way that they don't have to worry about including anybody else because the formula that was made didn't include them in the first place. So like they don't have to change anything if they just stick to the formula.
I also think that Black creators in Hollywood have a fear that they're going to lose their spot.
Yes.
But so let me just keep doing what has worked before because I don't want to lose my spot.
Have y'all seen Cherish the Day? That show was a decent one from the OWN channel. I never had the OWN channel, so I never got to watch any of those shows. Have you seen Cherish the Day?
I didn't have the OWN channel either. I mean, I've heard of certain shows on the OWN channel. Like there was one show about like a church, I think, or a pastor's family.
I think it was like Greenleaf, I think, because my mom talked about that show. She thoroughly enjoyed it. Tati says she don't trust OWN. Also, Deja, I saw this comment slide in there.
We sure did.
But then you have Shonda. We've already talked about Shonda. And like I said, I am all for us getting opportunities just like everyone else. I'm just wondering when we get these opportunities, when are we going to stop letting Hollywood tell us that the only way Black people can be portrayed are broken? Name me one character in anything that Shonda Rhimes has done, a Black character, who was not broken or a regular stereotype that are perpetuated, Black men or Black women. Give me one.
Woo!
Because Shonda also wrote the stereotypes too.
Which is very disappointing because Shonda has a lot of power and she's gotten
a lot of power and still doing it. And it's like, yeah, the leading woman in Shonda's show is a Black woman. The show is called Scandal because she's sleeping with the president of the United States who's a married white man. Not that she's a top lawyer and runs her own firm and has this, that, and the third. The show is about her being a mistress.
Ooh.
Everything else is an afterthought.
I will say, though, the first 2 seasons of Scandal were damn good.
I mean, yes. All of us watched. It wasn't until the 3rd and 4th season where I really started thinking, like, so is she going to do anything else but be a mistress?
Nope.
Like, are you telling me we get every season she walks away, every season she comes back? So she's just going to be doing this the whole... I can't watch this. Nope, I'm good. Also... not only would I like to see happy women and men and couples, I would like to also see children. And I would specifically like to see darker skinned children be put in the media and not the one who can dance.
Oh, shit. I think what I would love to see, and we haven't seen this since the Bernie Mac show, is a family where we don't have a dark-skinned son and a biracial daughter, which doesn't even make sense. But 2 Black parents, though. Confusion. Or, we have 2 dark-skinned parents with racially ambiguous children. Also doesn't make sense.
Facts.
What's wrong with seeing Black children on TV?
Again, we have to be broken to be on TV. You know a show that gave us blackity black, but people don't want to talk about it? Everybody Hates Chris.
It did.
Because, I mean, obviously they were caricatures, but at the same time, like, I felt Chris.
Like, I haven't seen Black kids on TV since, like, Family Matters, The Cosby Show, One-on-One,
Sister.
Like, that's sad.
What would be the perfect movie for y'all? Oh, we forgot Jingle Jangle. That came out this year. Shout out to Jingle Jangle because Listen, I just appreciate everything about Jingle Jangle because the fashion alone sent me over, and then like all the natural hair made my heart soar.
And it was actually a really great movie.
Yeah, it was very cute. And it was a movie created by students that graduated from an HBCU. Shout out to FAMU.
And it's still streaming on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it already, definitely go check it out.
Yo, listen. I used to love Moesha and 101 when I was younger. 101 sucked as a rewatch as an adult.
You think so? I've been enjoying it so much.
Like, I guess I found it really, 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 really corny. Really corny and a lot of puns. It was
oh my god. It is. I'm like getting my life rewatching.
But say I still watched the whole thing. The only season that I didn't like was season 5. It was like
that season. I do not remember it. I don't think I watched it in real life. Or
I don't remember if I did either. And I find Moesha, now that I'm older, to be super aggy.
Moesha literally reminds me of the black version of Cher from Clueless, but not as sweet and well-meaning. And not as good to her friends. Like, I'm just like, why are you like this, Mo?
I was like, how did you have friends? Because you're so mean.
She's so selfish. I'm like, girl, and some of the stuff she be saying and doing, I'm just giving her the side eye.
Yeah. I mean, to be clear, I watch Living Single. Like, I rewatch Living Single and Golden Girls all the time.
Oh, Golden Girls.
Those are my 2 ultimate favorite rewatches all the time. And then lately I've been rewatching Craig and the Creek because, you know, it's fantastic.
Golden Girls kept it all the way real.
Living Single is on Hulu right now, or it has been on Hulu for like a year, I think.
I need to get Hulu then.
Listen, the thing about Living Single, and like me and my friends were talking about, and Half and Half. I'm gonna talk about, how about all of the shows that came out around that time, like 101, Sister, Half and Half, which is funny that a lot of them are repetitive like this.
They're all streaming on Netflix.
The same actors and actresses on them.
They did.
Like, it was a complete recycle. Like, Maxine and Kyle were on Half and Half.
Those were the working black actors of the day.
Yeah, and like, I'm like, y'all kept each other employed.
They sure did.
And the Parkers. All of them, because they're all on Netflix. Like, all of them are in the same, like, they are in each other's shows.
It's kind of nice, though. It's nice to see them pop up. I'm like, oh.
Did you ever notice that the Clueless TV show had more black actors in the main cast friend group? I feel like I haven't watched the Clueless TV show in a minute.
It did, because it had the 2 guys and it had Dion.
Yeah, but I remember Dion, but you're right.
And then it was Cher. And then it was Amber, who everyone hated. She was like the frenemy.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Amber's fashion, though.
None of them were my fashion choices. I was more Daria back in the day.
Oh, Daria. That's disgust, Daria.
Daria was the black girl that told everybody basically, like, suck it.
My mom, like, banned me from watching Daria. Like, I wasn't allowed, because she sat there one day and watched it with me, and she was like, this is demonic. This girl is
not the accent and called it demonic.
She was like, this girl is depressed. Why is she like this? You cannot watch this anymore. I continue to watch.
I mean, that show was lit.
So good.
And then, man, like, I was going to talk about this. Okay, so we're all at the ages now where a lot of the actors, a lot of the characters in these shows, we are their ages now. So, like, if you go back and watch these shows now, they hit differently because of the age. But I'm not going to lie. Mona's bad dating experiences, because there was a plethora.
Oh, they were terrible.
I was like, maybe my dating life isn't an anomaly.
Right. You feel so seen. You're like, oh my God. Yes. I
was like, they even write men to be trash in shows that correlate.
Right.
It's real familiar to my dating life. Like, maybe they're not make-believe.
Maybe.
Mm.
Can we talk about how they're remaking Cinderella again with the racist Camila Cabello?
The only Cinderella I recognize has box braids and had a fairy godmother with the first crochet wig.
Oh, Whitney.
And I stand by that.
When I read that, I was like, didn't they just remake Cinderella back in 2013, 2014?
They made a live action Cinderella, which, you know, fine, cool. But the part that aggravates me is that they're remaking Cinderella and being like, oh, this will be a more diverse cast. And I was like, nothing will be more diverse than the Rodgers and Hammerstein version of Cinderella.
Yeah, that was the most diverse.
Mom, a white dad, and they made a Filipino baby. And no one questioned it.
Nobody questioned it. And we still won't question it, okay? It makes perfect sense to me.
Like, Cinderella's stepmom was white. How does she have a redhead daughter and a black daughter? Cinderella was black. We don't even know what her daddy looked like. That was the most diverse Cinderella we are ever going to get.
And you know what? They have no excuses because they presented it to us as kids and we took it and accepted it and never questioned it.
Never questioned it.
And rolled with it, and we were happy. And we were like, this is great. We love it. And now their reasonings are like, oh, well, you know, we have to have realistic casting. It's not going to make sense to the viewer. I'm like, well, it made sense to us when y'all did.
Yeah, because it needs to be more realistic. If it needs to be more realistic, then why y'all keep giving us super light skin or biracial or mixed daughters when it's supposed to be black families? Like, if it's supposed to make sense, make it make sense.
Exactly.
And I was just like, Camilla, like, y'all want to talk about diversity, and you picked the girl that was openly calling her other bandmate
the N-word.
The N-word?
And doing it online and doing it to her face and just being a horrible human being, and then had the nerve to have it all online, never apologize until she was forced to. I could go on.
And then played the victim as if it was crazy that we expected her to acknowledge her foolery.
And now you want to put her in front of us in a film and act like nothing happened.
Yo, this is so much facts. Can we just have a Whitney Houston moment?
Yes.
Because without Whitney, for those who don't know, like check the credits in these movies. Without Whitney Houston, we would have never gotten the Cheetah Girls or Princess Diaries, which is one of my favorite movies to watch on a rainy day.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Like, I can watch that movie all the time. And even the sequel. I love the Princess Diaries.
I really love the sequel too. It has great rewatch quality.
Yes, it does. And you know what? I'm sure Billy Porter as the fairy godparent would be lit.
Oh, it's going to be lit.
But Billy Porter deserves to have a better godchild than Camilla. How about, I don't know, instead of doing the pretty white woman who's finding love and then the black person saving the day, because that's essentially what the godparent does. How about instead of perpetuating that yet again in another remake, we just stop?
Yeah, just stop. Why do we need another remake of Cinderella? We have 5 by now. Like, I don't get it.
Like, I get it. Y'all want to make movies because you're bored. Like, and we like watching movies because we real bored too. But
not these trash remakes. Did you hear they were talking about remaking the Harry Potter franchise?
Did you hear that they're thinking about making the Powerpuff Girls live action?
Ooh.
No. They're going to make the Powerpuff Girls in their early 20s.
Oh.
Angry that they spent their entire childhood fighting crime.
That's not the Powerpuff Girls. I don't want that.
I was like, why y'all, like, who wants to see the depressed Powerpuff women?
Why are you ruining my childhood?
Who asked for this?
Nobody.
I was like, what? I hope it flops.
It probably will.
I was like, that is the most depressing thought process ever.
Yeah, I don't. It's like, no one asked for this.
Oh my God.
You're going to give us the Powerpuff Girls. Give us the Powerpuff Girls properly, please.
I just want to point out, I have yet to watch that.
I
refuse.
It keeps coming up on my like suggested on, I think, Netflix, and I'm like, no.
Because I was like, how we go from all the colorful ditzy chicks to this dark mess where it's all about the one white girl? No. I refuse. Nope. We're not doing this. Like, we have too much technology for y'all to keep turning all of our favorite things that made us happy into the most depressing crap we've ever seen.
And then saying that this is what we asked for. This isn't what we asked for.
Like, we didn't know. I have to be like, who asked for this? Because the stuff that we're asking for, y'all refuse to give it to us. Like, I'm still waiting for my Black girl in fantasy. Anything on TV, anything. Still waiting. Movie.
Still waiting.
We can't get a dark-skinned Black girl in anything.
Hollywood has clearly run out of ideas, but we have a lot of ideas. Do they need help? Do they need consultancy? Like, I'm here for hire. Like, you're available. We're all available. Let us know.
And that's another thing I heard. The Black chick, they took away her voice.
Well, I mean, are we surprised? Like, I knew from the second I watched the previews what it was going to be. So I didn't even bother. I was like, I'm not even going to bother because I'm going to be angry watching this. So I
was just like, we didn't ask for this. Like, we like the reasons that we liked these shows is because they made us happy.
Exactly.
They weren't thought-provoking or like deep. Nothing. There was nothing deep about the freaking Winx Club. For God's sake. There were like multiple episodes where they were like having parties and crushing on guys and like going to get smoothies. Like, I wanted that. If you were going to give me remakes, give me that. It's like, dang.
They don't stick to the spirit of what it was, and that's what's upsetting.
Yeah, it's just like, why do y'all have to ruin everything? Also, the actual creators of the Avatar series backed out of this remake.
They spoke out against it.
They spoke out against this remake and said that they were going in a direction that did not keep the spirit of the show. I am not watching.
I'm not watching.
I hope it flops and burns.
Yes.
And I swear to God, if it's all these white people in it again.
Oh, no.
Because every time I think about the Netflix remake and like the fact that the writers quit and said like, this is not going to be good. The fact that he did that, all I keep thinking about is the live action movie where they kept saying his name was Ong. And like, it was all the good people were white. The enslaved Earth Kingdom were Black. And then the evil people were like Middle Eastern. I will just never forget that.
Wow. Wow. Are you serious?
You never listen. I went to the theater to watch that live action because I was like, we finally have the CGI where I can see some real water bending, and they gave us crap. That is in the same category for me as the Dragon Ball Z remake, as the Dragon Ball Z live action. Those two go together in the same place.
There was a Dragon Ball Z live action?
Oh God, it was so bad. Okay,
so
I want a what is TATBILB type romance? Yeah. What is TAT? Okay, wait. TATBILB.
I don't know what it is either.
Type of romance movie with a Black female main character. Like, I want the cutesy stuff like that.
All
the boys I loved before.
the third and final one just came out this weekend.
You know what? You're right. I love movies like To All the Boys I Loved Before. It's cutesy. Again, it's not that deep. It's just about a chick crushing on dudes. I would love to see a Black girl like that. I would love to see a story like that. Y'all are so right.
I would love to see a story like that, or like a story like The Kissing Booth.
The Kissing Booth also had a lot of issues.
The Kissing Booth had a lot of issues, but it was cute.
But you're right. We're not talking. I see the comments. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, the Dragon Ball." We don't talk about the Dragon Ball one.
I'm curious. I'm gonna have to look it up because I didn't even know it existed.
Listen, I warned you.
Oh no!
All I'm gonna say is the main character is a white boy.
How?
See how you did that?
Wait,
okay. What? It doesn't get any better after that.
Wait, what?
Because there's an entire group of idiots that claim to be nerds that think anime is starring white people, right? Like they were on Twitter the other day, like because they're like, you should cosplay like you should cosplay like the ones that match your race. And like all of us were like, y'all do know that means y'all can't cosplay like nobody, right?
Nobody.
Because like anime is Asian. And they were like, no, they're white. And everybody's like, what are we watching?
Well, this Japanese anime, really?
I was like, y'all do know y'all aren't the first, like anime originated overseas. They just graciously let y'all watch it. Like, it's not
wild. This is wild. I'm shook right now. So they just whitewashed the whole story?
Yeah, like they're the ones who gatekeep, and Tati's right. There's a group of idiots that think anime started with Dragon Ball. Yikes. She is so right. And I could go into a full anime background, and it started before I was born. So
that would be a lit podcast.
One day, because
we'll have you and Troy do that in the future.
One day we're gonna do a podcast about anime, and we're gonna break down the categories of anime, because for some reason the gatekeeping musties who don't wear deodorant have like put it in their brain that you should be able to just automatically off the cuff know your top 10 animes. And it's like, which category though? Because like I'm a mood anime watcher. There are certain animes I watch and like I'll be sitting on the couch having a full palpitation. And then I also watch ones about volleyball and cooking. There's a balance.
Right.
And I have categories to my things. So you can't, it's a lot of gatekeeping. One day I want to have a gamer discussion one day and just talk about the level of gatekeeping in the nerd community, especially if they consider you an attractive female.
Wow.
The level of gatekeeping, I'm like, just be mad that you have no game and say that.
That's crazy.
But yeah. Ooh, okay, wait. I'm pulling up some comments. They need to adapt Christina Forrest's books. That's where we have our cutesy romance.
I haven't read her books. I've seen them, and the covers look very, very cute, but I haven't actually read them.
I am behind on Star Trek Discovery, so we cannot talk about it today. I need to catch up. But I will say I'm loving it. Might have a little girl crush going on because kind of think she's great. But I'm not going to go into detail because I don't even think I've told Oshley that she should watch this, so we have things.
You haven't.
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay.
The Cooking Master Boy. I have seen The Cooking Master Boy.
What?
Listen, the wonderful thing about how do I put this? There's something for everyone in the nerd world.
I just had to look this up because I was like, ooh.
There's something for everyone in the nerd world, and there are animes. They're like the lifestyle animes, and
he's just cooking.
I mean, essentially, yeah, it's a cooking manga.
This is kind of lit.
Like I love that one, Night Owl, and I love Food Wars. Those are the two cooking ones that I watch. And like Food Wars, I found this YouTube channel that like they take food from animes and they try to replicate it.
What?
And I remember the name of that channel because one night, I was in here trying to get the umami of the freaking egg to be right over my rice. And I made like 8 different things of rice because of this stupid anime.
Oh my God.
It's just like, but that anime, it makes you feel good. It's not a deep anime. It's literally just cooking. It's fantastic.
You're going to have to drop the channel when you remember it.
As soon as I remember it, then I'm definitely going to drop it. Also, shout out to Digimon. It's better than Pokemon. Haven't seen any ST Discovery. My life is depleted. Girl.
Oh my God.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's just say I love the new season. Yeah. Everybody keeps talking about this new season. And I was like, I need to just sit down and binge it. But I know if I do that, it's going to be game over for like a whole day.
Dang.
Because it's so good, though. You know, and it's black. It's black people in it. Nice. Oh, I heard Amari and the Night Brothers. It's the new middle grade book that came out recently. It's fantastic. So I'm going to actually go pick it up from the library after this snow crap that's going on.
Snow crap.
Listen, Houstonians can't drive in the snow. You're not about to jack up smoky quartz out here for a book today. So, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely check out Amari and the Night Brothers probably next month. I'm excited for the Gilded Ones. I haven't finished the Gilded Ones. Gonna keep all the thoughts to myself involving Children of Blood and Bone. Because I have lots of concerns.
Look, I am getting the third, and I hope it's the final book from the library. That's all I'm saying on that.
Did any of y'all watch Z Nation? The mom from Bernie Mac was the star. She was a badass on there.
No.
I don't recall watching Z Nation.
I didn't watch Z Nation.
But the mom from Bernie Mac is gorgeous. So, like, I need to go look it up.
Where did you watch it on?
Yeah, what channel is that, like, on a streaming network? Because why not add it to our things?
I just looked it up right now. It's on Netflix.
Also, I just want to say I love seeing women talk about mangas that they read. It makes my heart very happy.
Is this about zombies? This looks like a kick-ass.
It is called Feast of Fiction. That's the YouTube channel. Novelists be coming through, bro.
Thank you.
The channel is Feast of Fiction. If you want to go look at this channel, it is truly a treat. They also did like Kingdom Hearts food on there one time. And they've done so many things, but I don't know if they're still making new videos, but that is definitely the channel.
Z Nation looks lit AF.
I need to know what network it's on, but yeah, Haikyuu is, I played volleyball in real life. And overseas, this is going to sound weird, but whenever I lived on a military base in Germany, and in order to play the other military bases in Europe, you usually had to travel. And for volleyball, one time we had to go to Italy, Sigonella. And when we were in Sigonella, it was like a huge volleyball championship, but it was a men's championship. Like, I love female or women's volleyball, but like men's volleyball is a whole new ball game. And watching Haikyuu makes me think of that fun time that I've watched a bunch of men in short shorts. Yep. Cool. I stand Michael Burnham and Captain Georgia. Oh, heck yes. Oh, yeah. I'll fill you in. Is it snowing right now? I don't know. Let's see. Because
it was, so I could have a snow day from work.
Nah, it's not snowing for us right now. It's 100% chance later on tonight. Let's see. Do you guys have hopes for the Shadow and Bone adaptation? I kind of have hopes for it. You didn't even let me finish reading the question. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna just say, if you really want to read it, get it from the library. Support the library. Oh, what is the name of the youngest girl on Blackish?
Oh, it's gonna bother me, but she's doing big things. She has her own production company.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be so. I need to read the book.
I feel like her name starts with a D. Her name starts with a D.
I cannot remember her name right now.
No, it doesn't. Marcy Martin. No, it doesn't. Marcy Martin.
Marcy.
I think her character on Blackish name starts with a D. Diane. But yeah,
Diane. She's Diane.
Marcy Martin.
Oh, it was on Sci-Fi Channel. Listen, you know another good Sci-Fi Channel show that's the whole series is on Netflix? The Magicians.
See, I have always wanted to watch that, and I like cheesy shows.
The Magicians is like, I was like, it's lit. I loved that show. I'm not done with it. I have issues watching the final seasons of things.
I do too.
So I haven't watched the final season, but I know it's up on Netflix right now.
I always delay watching final seasons of things for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be over. I just get sad. I'm like, I don't want it to end.
I mean, they casted her quick though. That is true. Like the book just came out like this month or last month and they already casted.
Good for her.
They are serious about that life.
Good for her. Man. She can actually act, unlike her co.
Oh my God.
I mean, I really like her as well.
Go ahead and try to change it up if you want to. I'm gonna eat this rest of this.
Like a lovely girl. And Yara Shahidi, for those that don't know who I'm talking about, she seems like a wonderful, lovely girl. But y'all notice she plays the same character and everything. Nothing wrong with that. You know, that's her repertoire. But I'm just saying. Oh God.
I need to read this Amari book because now I feel like
I just put a hold on it on my library as we were talking.
Oh, that's smart. Let me do that while we're talking.
Right? I was like, I'll add me to the list.
Because you know, I'm good for going back to the store and buying a book that I really loved.
Me too.
And I might have exceeded my spending budget already anyway, because I just bought, I think I'm about to buy a vanity.
Ooh.
Adulting. This is funny to me that I'm like, oh wait, let me. Yo, also tell me why I have fines. I have $3.90.
You need to take those books back.
Well, I took them back, but like I was like, dang, I had a $3 fee. Oh my gosh, We Free the Stars was available and they didn't send me an email.
From where?
At the library.
Oh no. Is it too late now?
Yeah, they only hold it for a week.
Oh, I'm so sorry, boo.
It's okay. I'm resubmitting the request.
Okay.
You know, ain't nothing but a word.
There's nothing like that when you go on, your heart drops and you're like, oh my goodness. I didn't
even think to check because I just figured that I was like so far down the pipeline that okay, I need to go to my list of holds. So currently on hold, I have We Free the Stars, Amari and the Night Brothers, Nubia, the real one.
Okay.
And I think that's it. I feel like there's something else that I'm forgetting since we're here, but I'm just going to leave it on the screen. Okay. Shadow and Bone. I haven't read Shadow and Bone, so I can't even tell you. Oh, I remember when Yara Shahidi played Natasha for The Sun Is Also a Star movie. Literally no chemistry with the male love interest. I heard that as well.
Her acting was very wooden in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was also very bad. Well, very bad is a stretch. It wasn't interesting. There we go.
It's because the character that Yara, the role that Yara stole was for a dark-skinned woman as depicted in the book. But anyways. Oh, yes. We need both of these young women in roles. Because they had to debut and then basically disappear.
Yeah, what happened?
They literally did the whole... Yes, my library does Hoopla. I like having the physical book. I know, I don't know if I'm the only person, but when I get books from libraries, sometimes I'll do the audiobook, but there's something about the plastic covering that they put on library books.
I cannot with you, Brittany.
Like, am I lying though? Like, it's something about picking them up from the library and like sitting down and like hearing the crinkle noise when you open the book. Listen, it is like, it is real pure joy. So if I can get that book from the library first, I'm going to try that. Otherwise, I'll do the ebook version.
That's
but
hilarious.
I just want to hear the thing that it makes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I cannot. I prefer to get ebooks from the library because it's just more convenient to me because I can literally download it in like 5 seconds onto my Kindle.
See, I'm not the only person. That plastic covering on the library book is fantastic. Crap. Hold on. Let me just text. My siblings are trying to call me and I'm like, no.
Your siblings are so needy.
Well, apparently one of my sisters made a pie crust from scratch and she wants to show the world.
So, okay, that's a good reason.
I'm like, listen, send me a pic. I'm online. See, people, I am not the only one that likes that sound.
Oh my gosh.
Tati, I used to flick it while I read as a kid. Me too.
Oh wow, this is like a whole community.
I also used to enjoy. I was that kid, back in the day. I don't know. This might be aging us, but you know how they had that sign out card in the library books.
Yep, that was real back in the day, Brittany. Why'd you bring that up?
I know, but I used to draw hearts by the names of people that I knew.
Yeah.
And then I would try to see if I could check out books from older kids that I knew, that were at school with me.
That is so cute.
I know, I was such a weirdo, but I love library books.
That is so funny.
Yeah, see, Houston doesn't get that cold normally. So it's the only time that I go outside is either to the grocery store or I pull up to the outside of the library and they do book drop-offs. So you just open your trunk and they put the books in your trunk.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's my only outside time right now.
Are they quarantining the books themselves after?
Yeah, because what happens is when a book is turned in, it's quarantined for 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, so you can't even because you know how normally with the reserves it's once you turn it in, you can immediately get the book the same day. They quarantine and sanitize and stuff, and then they'll notify you when your books are ready for pickup, and you have a week from the time that they notify you to come pick them up. And then you pull up, you call them, say your name, they come out the side door with your books in this cute little reusable bag. You also leave in your trunk if you have any of their other reusable bag things. Yeah, it's great. Wow. I was a drive-through at the library. We need one of these.
Yes, that's so lit.
I'm one day when I get older, I'm going to open up a library and I'm going to have a drive-through option.
I think that's an amazing option to have. And I'm surprised it hasn't been invented yet.
Also, Tati being the person who used to cross out the people she didn't like.
I cannot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't remember when it stopped for me, but it might have been a little bit later than middle school.
I
love being the first person to write my name on it. Oh, see, your library has a drive. My library, actually, there's a couple libraries. I don't have a drive-through at my library. Well, I have a drive-through area where you can go and drop off books, but not a place where, because kind of with the pharmacies and stuff with Walgreens and CVS. So it's I want that kind of thing where you pull up and you're I'm Brittany, I'm picking up such and such, such and such, and they just hand it to you. You hand them your library card, they scan it, boom, boom, boom.
That would be lit.
Yeah. And then, I'll come in every once in a while to talk to my favorite librarian if she's still there, because she's just this older, sweet Black lady. And she's hilarious to talk to. But I haven't seen her all COVID.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
Yeah. And it's I can't reach out to her because I only knew her from her job.
Right.
It's I can't be creeper, but I want to.
You're funny.
My library has I'm jealous of all the people that have drive-throughs at their libraries.
I know. I keep hearing about this and I'm just why doesn't my library have this?
Oh, wow. My library quarantines the books for 3 days. Then you park in a spot number, call them, and they bring it out to you. Why does that remind me of Walmart?
Walmart?
Well, yeah, with the, when you park in this, or Target, where you park in this specific
drive up
in and they bring your stuff out to you that you ordered.
Yeah, Target has a drive up feature where you usually use the app and you say I'm here and they bring your stuff.
Yeah. Imagine a 24-hour library.
I don't know
because we all love the library, but certain places, the library is where certain people go to hang out, and it might not be the best at 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I do miss the library in college because it never closed. I had one that was 24 hours and one that wasn't.
I miss my college library too. It was pretty epic. It was this huge library in New York called the Bopst NYU Library. It was pretty intense in Washington Square Park. But then I remember my freshman year, it was tainted by a scandal because one of the students jumped off of.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like it's a huge library. It has like 12 or more floors or something crazy. And one of the students went up and like jumped off of, like, there used to be like this balcony type situation, and jumped off, and unfortunately, trigger warning, took their own life. So that library always had like a dark underside to it, because we would always hear about students like going crazy, especially like pre-med and
I understand.
pre-law, like students that had a lot of pressure on them. I remember I would literally during finals see people crying regularly.
I was that person
in the library, and
yep.
I would go over to them and just kind of like, I wouldn't say anything, but I would just kind of like give them like a squeeze on the shoulder and be like,
I had to stop going to the regular library on the main campus during finals week because everybody looked so calm.
Really? You're like freaking
like, how are you calm?
Oh no.
I remember one time because, so I guess I should preface this. Those who don't know, I'm a chemical engineer by degree. And after you complete the first 2 years of your engineering program, it's a 5-year program. So year 3 and 4 is technically the same year for you. You do like your junior year is like 2 years long because the classes that you have to take are labs or really intense math classes, basically theoretical math. Like you stop using numbers after a certain point in math where it's just theoretical and symbols and things like that. And also, unfortunately, with engineering, you also have to do computer programming where you have programs where you enter in these said math equations and it's supposed to produce like actual shapes of things. And I'll never forget this crap because it was MATLAB. And the problem with MATLAB is like you can miss a semicolon and your whole program won't run.
What?
But the problem is if you just wrote a whole page of code,
oh no,
everything kind of looks the same. So you'll never be able to find your mistakes. So you just have to start over.
Oh my God.
And I just remember one time we were at the e-school.
No.
And I'm like doing the math because a part of your senior design project starts in junior year. And for chemical engineers in our program, you basically built a chemical plant from the ground up. But that requires preliminary math done by this stupid program.
Oh my God.
And our reactor kept blowing up because the math produced from the program was incorrect. And so
did you have a breakdown? Because I would have.
I was like underneath the table.
Oh my God.
Just sprawled out underneath the table with the jacket over my head, just like crying.
Oh my God.
I was like, I wasted my parents' money. I should have been a stripper. I have a fantastic butt. I drop it just like the rest of them.
I cannot.
I'm a failure.
No, Brittany.
I called my dad like, I'm so sorry. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this. I'll pay you back. I promise. I already know how to pay you back.
No, not on the pole.
And my dad was like, I'm going to let you talk to your mama because you just told your father you're going to pay him back by stripping. And I'm not okay with this.
He was like, this is where I get off the bus. This is my stop.
I just remember that because there were only, in my program, there was only 5 Black people total.
Wow. In the entire program.
In the entire program. And I just remember, this is back when I met my girls. My college girlfriends are my engineer girls that I graduated with. And the one Diamond, the one Omi, I'm sorry. She was like, I'm going to let you stay down here for like another minute. But you're not going to be out here acting like this in front of all these people. Get it together or go to your car. But you know it's only a couple of us and we got to be better than this.
Oh my God.
I
She's like, you're embarrassing the crew.
And I went downstairs to my car And at the time, I drove a car that was so busted, I named her Uniqua. And I laid in the back seat of Uniqua and cried for like a good 20 minutes.
Oh
and
my God.
I got back up and rewrote the program.
Oh, did it work this time?
Nope.
Oh my God.
Listen, I tell people all the time, like, engineering makes great money. Cool. But like, you got to have a different, like, you got to know why you're in there, because it will try to destroy your soul and then take your blood and then ask you for a sacrifice.
Is everybody else doing engineering now too?
I mean, well, I'm chemical engineer. I'm chemical. Omi's chemical. DJ and Diamond are biomedical.
Okay.
So we all graduated engineers.
That's so intense.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have made it without them, though.
I'm glad you had them. I really am.
Yeah. Because it was funny. I didn't realize, like, we didn't realize this till we're older, but like, the engineering school never closed. So we would just commandeer like a floor, and then we would just bring a bunch of tables together. And in between the tables, we'd have 4 coffee makers and 3 microwaves.
Oh my God.
Because after a certain point in your engineering program, going home was not exactly an option. Like,
wow.
Like, we got, you know, such and such homework that's going to be like 16 pages. And then, oh, snap, we got the unit lab. Lab reports were minimum, like, we didn't turn in lab reports that were stapled together. We turned in lab reports that were submitted via a binder.
This is too much.
Like, I tell people, that's why when people try to act like, you know, getting the degree ain't everything, I'd be like, shut up.
Yeah, you're like, I put my blood, sweat, tears.
Discuss that with your mother, because this degree, I earned it.
I feel that.
It's like, I say I'm an engineer with my whole chest, because we dealt with a teacher that literally told us we'd be better off as nurses.
Wait, why?
Because that's what women do. Women like us do. Oop. Yeah.
Oh,
listen, I have stories for days. Like, college was rough. I did not enjoy college because I was actually trying to graduate on time.
Lord. We are going to definitely save those stories for a different live where we can talk about our college experiences. I just noticed that we are over our time limit.
Oh, wow. We actually stayed on here way longer than I thought we were going to. Y'all bought the chat great.
But it was an amazing time. We had so much fun with y'all this evening. Thank you so much for joining us and just shooting the breeze with us, because Lord knows we did not have a topic for this evening.
Shout out to everybody who finished off their wine and or whiskey. Turn up.
Yes, turn up.
Make sure to hydrate before you go to sleep, because, you know, we're not as young as we used to be, and that hangover is no joke.
Yeah, definitely make sure you drink that water, because it's not going to be fun tomorrow morning. I'm going to let Brittany make the announcements right quick.
Wait, my mouth is full of cookie. Hold on.
Oh, God.
As soon as you said that, I stuffed a cookie in my mouth.
Of course you did. Oh my God, I can't. I like when Brittany makes the announcements, because they're very succinct, and I know she's going to include everything that needs to be said.
Let me get my flight attendant voice on. Okay. The announcements for this week are as follows. We have a special announcement coming sometime this week. So if you haven't hit the notification bell on our channel, be sure to hit that bell right now. Don't forget to give this particular video a thumbs up. And if you have been enjoying Black Prose, we ask that you subscribe.
Yes, please.
Stay tuned for this Saturday as our Black Book Summit continues, and our favorite topic of all time, romance, is finally having its panel debut with some panels that we are very excited to introduce to you guys.
Yes, this Saturday.
Ooh. And Sunday, we will be discussing Nikki Drayden's Escaping Exodus, book 1 of a series that the second book has come out this month already. I think that's all of it.
That's all of it. So we will see y'all Saturday for weekend number 3 of the Black Book Summit, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, romance and its variety. And we will see y'all on Sunday, I believe at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to discuss the book of the last 2 months, Escaping Exodus.
Oh, yes. And then we'll be announcing the next book that we're reading, and it's my turn to pick.
Why did you say that with such like an evil devil?
I'm so excited. I'm sure some people already know what book I'm gonna pick, and that's fine. Y'all know me, it's cool. But
wait, did you tell me? Did you tell me about this?
I definitely told you already.
Like what? All right.
I definitely told you already.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask you later to refresh my memory. But anyways, that is it for this evening. Thank you all so much for joining us. It was so much fun as always. I hope y'all have a great rest of your evening, and we will see y'all on Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.